Hello dear students of class 9th, welcome to geography class. I hope all of you are fit and healthy. Students, in this video I shall be continuing with the 5th chapter from your geography book, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. Students, in the previous video I explained you about the factors that influence the vegetation of that place. I told you that relief and climate are two factors that influence the vegetation. In relief, I explained you about land and soil, that how land and soil of different places affects the vegetation of those places. And in climate, I explained you about three elements, that is temperature, sunlight and precipitation. How temperature along with humidity in the air, along with precipitation, that means rainfall and soil, affects the vegetation of any place. So, students, we have studied about the factors. Now, let us come to the next topic, that is forest. See, dense vegetation means what? Dense vegetation means forest. If the vegetation of that place will be very much dense or highly or densely vegetated, that means we are talking about forest, a collection of trees, a collection of plants, right. So, in this topic we are going to study about the importance of forest, what role a forest plays, how important, how necessary forests are for the ecosystem. All right. So, we are going to study about the importance of forest. So, students, there are a number of points of. So, students, forests are really important to us in many ways. How? Let us see. You can see the points, the points are mentioned here. So, I will be dealing with all the points one by one. So, let us start with the first point, that is, it modifies the local climate. Now, how the forest modifies the local climate? See, it controls the wind force, the forest, it controls the wind force and temperature, and it also causes rainfall. You have already studied in your junior classes that forest attracts rain. So, if rain will be there, if the wind force will change, if the temperature will be changed, then the climate, the local climate of that place will also be changed. So, this way forest modifies the local climate of that place. Okay. Now, the second point, it controls soil erosion. Now, how forest controls soil erosion? See, the trees that are there in the forest, the roots of the trees, they hold the soil and thus prevent the soil to be eroded. The soil is not flown with the flow of water or by the flow of or with the air. So, it protects the soil, it holds the soil. The roots of the trees, they hold the soil, as a result of which they protect soil erosion. All right. Next, the third point. Third point is regulate stream flow. See, as I told you that the forests are responsible for rain, they attract rain. So, if rain will be there, then the streams, they will never be dry. So, this way the stream flow is regulated with the help of forests. All right. Then the next point, forests support a variety of industries. See, there are a variety of industries that are completely dependent on the forest products. For example, if I talk about the medicine industry, then there are so many medicinal trees, so many medicinal plants that are there in the forest, and from those plants, from those trees, medicines are made. So, medicine industry. Then we have the furniture industry, from where wood can be obtained. What is the sole source of obtaining wood? Trees. If trees will not be there, can we obtain wood? No, we cannot, and thus furniture will not be made. So, furniture industry is also completely dependent on the forest. From there only wood comes. Then the rubber industry. So many things are made out of rubber. So the rubber industry is also dependent on forest. Then paper industry. From where do we get paper? We get paper from trees. So we can see that so many industries are dependent on forest. If forest will not be there, if forest will not provide its products, then these industries cannot survive. It will be very difficult for them to survive. Alright. So I hope this point is also clear to everybody. Now the next point. Forest provides livelihood. See, the tribals who are the residents of the forest, they are completely dependent on forest, and they do several work. The work of, see, their work is also related to the forest only. For example, they collect honey and then they sell out. So this is a means of livelihood. So the people, they are earning livelihood with the help of forest, right? Then the next point is panoramic or scenic view for recreation. See, everybody wants recreation. When we are bored, what do we want? We want to do some outing. We want to have some recreation. So forest is also a very good source of recreation to boost the energy. If in the forest there are a number of variety of plants, trees, animals. So this is a means of recreation also. Alright. Then the last point. Forest provides humus to the soil and shelter to the wildlife. Now how the forest provides humus? See, natural humus is there. It is not artificial or scientific at all. See, the trees, the twigs that fall on the land. What happens after that? Once they fall on the land, they are decayed, they are decomposed, and that decomposed material acts as humus for the forest, for the soil. It acts as a humus for the soil to increase the fertility. It is the natural fertility, it is the natural humus, natural substance that is provided in order to increase the fertility. So this way forest provides humus to the soil, and it also provides shelter to wildlife. The wild animals live in the forest. Forest is the home for the wild animals. If forest will be chopped out, what will happen? Then the wildlife, they will not have, the wild animals, they will have no shelter. So it provides shelter for wildlife. It gives shelter to different birds. There are so many birds, so many species of birds that have made their nest in the forest. So this way it provides shelter to the wildlife. So I hope that the importance of forest is clear to everybody. So this means that forest plays a very important role, right? It really plays a very important role. But let me tell you that India's natural vegetation has undergone several changes due to several factors. Now there are several factors that are responsible for the change in India's natural vegetation. Now what are those factors? See, the population is increasing. If population will increase, then what will happen? We'll demand for more food. And where is food grown? Food is grown on land. Land is limited, but our wants are unlimited. We want more. We want more money. So in order to produce more, land will not multiply. Land is fixed. It will remain the same. So in order to produce more, the forests are cut. They are chopped in order to grow. They are chopped for agriculture purpose in order to grow more. So see, our nature or the ecosystem or the environment, it has sufficient for us. It has sufficient to satisfy our needs, but not our greeds. It can definitely satisfy all our needs very nicely. It can maintain them, but it cannot satisfy our greeds, because greeds will never stop. There is no end to greeds. It will keep on increasing. So this greed is resulting in several changes. The natural vegetation is hampering. We are causing disturbance to the natural vegetation as well as wildlife. Alright, so this is the first point. Now the second change is development of industries and mining. Now this has caused immense degradation. Development of industries, we want to develop, we want to grow at any cost, and for constructing industries we are clearing out forests. The smoke that is emitted from the industries, that is also causing great harm to the vegetation, to the wildlife. Pollution is everywhere. There is no space for animals, for birds to live. It is actually snatching the habitat of wildlife as well as vegetation. So many species, they have gone extinct because of the reckless chopping of trees. If trees will reduce, then what will happen? We think that we are growing. No, we are not able to be far sighted. We are only concerned about today. We are not concerned about tomorrow. So if trees will not be there, if plants will not be there, from where we will get oxygen? We will not get oxygen. If we will not get oxygen, then will we able to survive? No, we will not be able to survive. So this development of industries, in the name of growth, in the name of development, we are actually degrading the environment. And if I talk about the mining activities, then they are also causing huge disturbance to the natural vegetation and wildlife. Alright. Now the third point is urbanization and overgrazing of pastures. Urbanization means growing of cities. We want to be modern, we want to be western, and in that what we are doing? We are making buildings, we are making houses, colonies are there, and forests are reducing. Alright. So this is causing great threat, great harm to the vegetation. Right. If I talk about overgrazing of pastures, if I talk about pastures, that means the cattle. I'm saying again. Now students, if I talk about the overgrazing of pastures, that means the cattle that graze the land, then they are not doing it intentionally. See, but what happens while overgrazing, the topsoil is removed. They also eat that topsoil, or that fertility is removed. So the soil loses its fertility in case of overgrazing. And and when this is going on, a lot of species of plants, and also students, this is leading to decrease in the species of plants, because the animals, they are just grazing it recklessly. The human beings that are there to control, to maintain them, they are hardly paying attention. They want their cattle to be properly fed. But who will take care of the nature while feeding them? The several species of plants, they are also gone. So this way, human activities are causing great threat to nature. So students, because of change in vegetation, the vegetation cover of India in large parts is no more natural and real. It is no more natural in real sense. It has been modified, it has been replaced or degraded. It is no more natural because of this ill treatment to the nature that the human beings are causing. Except some inaccessible regions like the Himalayas, the hilly areas of central India like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, because those places have dense vegetation, and Marusthali. Now what is Marusthali? Marusthali is the Hindi name of desert. Alright. So I hope till here points are clear to everybody. Now students, let's move to the next topic, and our next topic is ecosystem. Now what is ecosystem? See, this is not a new topic because you have already studied about ecosystem in your junior classes also. Since class 6 you are studying about this. So let's break this term into two parts, eco and system. Eco means the environment and system means the complete system, the system developed in our environment. So the system that is developed in our environment is called as ecosystem. Students, environment means the plants, animals, human beings. Yes, also human beings, because human being is a social animal, right? So all of them comprises of the ecosystem. So ecosystem is the system that is created when all the plants and animals living in an area interact together with their surroundings. That refers to ecosystem. See, all the plants and animals in an area, they are interdependent and interrelated in their physical environment. Everybody that is in the ecosystem, that is in the environment, they are interrelated as well as interdependent. We depend on plants, the animal depends on us. So we are dependent on each other, and this way we interact with each other, and the system created is called as ecosystem. That means the system of the environment. Environment means comprising of plants, animals, human beings as well as the physical environment. Alright. So students, I hope you have understood the concept of ecosystem. Now we have another term, that is biome. Now what is a biome? Students, large ecosystem on land having distinct types of vegetation and animal life is called a biome. We have different ecosystems on the land, on the surface of land, and everything makes together a biome. That means large ecosystem on land. For example, let me talk about desert ecosystem. In desert, the plants will be different, the animals will be different, the temperature of that place will be different. So the factors will be completely different in a desert. So that will create a desert ecosystem. Then let me talk about equatorial ecosystem. That means example of Amazon forest. In that area, everything will be different. Animals will be different, plants will be different, the vegetation will be completely different. Then let me talk about marine ecosystem. In that, fishes will be there, different types of plants will be there. So we have different ecosystems, and they together comprise of biome. So I hope you understood about biome. And let me tell you that human beings, they are integral part of the ecosystem. We are a social animal. We are very important, very integral part of the human system. But definitely we are very important, but we are causing harm and we are also causing several issues because of our greed. As I told you that the environment, the ecosystem has sufficient to satisfy our needs but not the greeds, because there is no end to greeds. It keeps on increasing. There is no halt. We want more and more. We do not get easily satisfied. And because of increasing greed, we are polluting, we are degrading, we are harming the nature, we are harming the ecosystem, we are harming the biome. And this will also impact us if we continue if we continue to harm the environment, then one day we will also be affected, and we are actually affected. If I talk about pollution, then we are also affected by pollution. It is creating a lot of problems, respiratory problems, right, and several diseases it is causing. Then we have flood, drought. It creates so much problem, it gives so much trouble to the human beings. So we must move towards conserving the ecosystem, conserving the biome. Okay, let us see a greater approach, a wider approach. All right. So I hope This term is also clear to everybody. So students, in the next video, I shall be explaining you about the next topic, that is types of vegetation. Till then, thank you so much. Stay safe and stay connected.